So between 2015 and 2017, I read nothing but self-help, personal development types of books. I read so many that the mere thought of reading one or even picking up one today kind of makes me a little sick to my stomach, but I digress. But today's video is all about things that I learned from reading these books. And I wouldn't say that I had a bad experience. I just think I fell victim to kind of being obsessed with reading these books and not really getting anything from them per se. And I think I just got frustrated, is pretty much. So today I'm going to be talking about a few things that I've learned from reading these books and how I think self-help and personal development books should be approached if you want to read them. Okay, so let me start off by saying I don't think self-help or personal development books are bad. I think they're really good for what they are, and that's giving information. Now, I wouldn't approach them thinking they're going to fix my problem or thinking that, they're going to give me some type of solution, because a lot of people already know that most people don't apply what they read in personal development books to their actual life. And I'm going to get into that a little bit later as to why I think that is. But just to say, I think that they are really great and a really good source of information, especially if you are new to something or you're just starting out. I think, like, for instance, like if you are trying to learn more about finances and things like that, then start off by reading some personal development books. I'm pretty sure you'll get some information that's going to be helpful and help you understand further the things that you want to know. Now, as far as applying things to your life, I think you should be a little bit more selective as how you do that. But once again, I'll get into that a little bit later. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about with these kinds of books is it's a very big possibility you may not be solving your actual issue. I think this is probably the biggest reason why people find it so difficult to apply information that they learn in these books to their actual life. I think a lot of us truly lack perspective and understanding the nature of our true issues. For example, let's say that you're having money problems. Let's say that you want to start getting your finances organized, you want to start saving money, you want to start learning about investing and all those things that people like to talk about and learn about finances. So you buy a book and you learn as much as you can as far as saving money, setting up accounts, investing, or whatever it is that you feel like you lack. And so you read it and you get all of this good information, but nothing changes. Nothing changes probably because you have an underlying issue that actually needs to be solved. Your underlying issue could be you may not even make enough money to start saving or investing. You may have a spending problem as to why you can't save. Like, there are underlying issues that a lot of these books can't and don't address. And I think people think, well, my finances are all jacked up. If I learn how to manage my finances better, then I can take the information and apply it to my life. However, underlying issues is, do you even make enough money to start saving and investing and setting up a budget? Like, because if you don't make enough money, then it really doesn't matter if you know about saving, because you can't. Or maybe you have an issue with spending. Like, if you have a spending problem, you have a problem with controlling your spending, then setting up a budget probably really isn't going to help that much. So when looking for certain books to solve certain problems, make sure you've given your issue a lot of thought before you dive into reading self-help or personal development books thinking it's going to solve your problem, because you actually need to know what the real problem is in order to fix it. So if you have a spending problem, or if you need to make more money, or you need to do something to get to the point in which the book is giving you the information for, those are the things that you need to address first. Okay, so the second thing I'm going to talk about that I have learned or come to realize from reading these kinds of books is they do give you a false sense of hope and motivation. And I know that sounds really bad, but I think people get very motivated when they read these kinds of books. I know I did. I got very motivated to, do something different or to apply the new information to my life, to get better, to do better. It's very inspiring to read a book because these books are written. They're written for you to resonate with. They're written to make you feel understood. They're written to make you feel justified. And they're written to make you believe that you can do whatever it is that they're saying you should do in the book. But it's important to remember that self help is a very, very lucrative business. And so that's something to really keep in mind, that these books are written to inspire and to motivate you. And even though, you know, millions of people read these books and they don't apply this information to their life and they don't really think probably twice about a book after they read it. I think people do look for that sense of hope and motivation, that quick high of feeling good, like they're gonna do something. And I think that's something that you should be very careful about. I think you should be very careful about wanting to get a sense of motivation and inspiration and hope, and really put focus on trying to understand what your issues are and trying to find real life solutions to your problems, rather than look for inspiration, motivation, and hope in a self help or personal development kind of book. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to talk about that I have come to realize from reading these kinds of books is a lot of the information is just recycled. Once you've read so many of a particular kind of self help book, whether it be finance, health, wellness, you know, about happiness, about whatever topic it is you read, you'll start to realize that a lot of the information is recycled, and a lot of it is, I hate to say common sense because I guess that's relative, but a lot of it is kind of common sense, and a lot of it you can find pretty much anywhere on the internet. And that was something I come to realize after reading so many, is that the information is just recycled and it's not anything innovative or new. Ever so often, somebody will write a book in a different kind of way and give the information to people in a different and new, innovative light. And so the book gets really, really popular and people feel inspired and renewed after reading it. But in the grand scheme of things, they didn't really say anything new. They just introduced the information in a different way. So, with that being said, I do think it is beneficial to see what you're taking your time to read and make sure you're not just reading the same thing over and over again like I did, because you will get frustrated and you will start to get information overload. And with information overload, because I know I experienced that, it gets very frustrating because you're reading all of this information and you're not really applying it to your life. You're not really changing your life or solving your problems. And to me, that's the real issue with information overload from these kinds of books, is you're just getting so much information but your life isn't changing. So just be careful about what you're reading and make sure you're not just reading the same things over and over again, because you probably will get frustrated like I did. Okay, so question of the day: do you read self-help or personal development type books, and if you do you find them to be helpful? Okay, that is all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.